Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nova Event. 欢迎大家来到我们 CAPA Nova 平台就像刚才我跟就是咱们这个线上观众聊天儿说的，今天这个星期是我们 CAPA Nova 最后一周有活动安排。然后这个之后呢，我们团队就进入放假模式一直要等到明年才再开始有活动。所以的话，怎么讲呢？先说是谢谢大家这一年来对我们的支持和关注哈。还是一样，我们每个月呢都有一期叫 Financial Literacy 这种叫帮着大家就是进怎么讲呢？就是更多的了解如何管理自己的财产如何怎么讲呢？不光是辛辛苦苦的挣钱哈，要更多的理解怎么去管理经营。今天呢还是一样，麦克教官给我们带来的话题是 Year-end Tax Planning and 2025 Federal Tax Return Simulation by a Tax Pro。我相信大家都知道哈，麦克教官是我们华府可以说是最有名的关于这种税务方面的这个常识普及常识的这个讲员他呢真的是怎么讲呢？他不光光是对税法了解，他还对其他很多很多各种各样的business 类型也是非常通晓。所以的话，今天非常期待他继续给我们大家提供这方面的知识。All right，教官，stage is yours。
Okay, thank you for the introduction. It's been what, 12 months? I don't know how many years we do that. 3 years now, right? It's good around. Every year we present topics. This time is year-end tax planning under the one big beautiful bill. Probably the most complicated situation I can ever think of, because first of all, law has changed in July. Then IRS has been shut down for 45 days, right? Then they laid off
Yeah.
20% people. And all these tech software companies are not able to catch up all the changes because nobody answered the phone, the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
So this year is very challenging. So I'm able to download the most recent version of Drake. There are about 10 different professional softwares. Yes, I want you guys to use this one as what? As a template. I present about 12 different strategies for working class, how to keep the wealth within the family, right? That's the whole thing. And also, I have two documents. One is the tax return, about 40 pages. The other one is narratives, 叙事, meaning you have to explain what strategy, what does it mean, what's the tax code. So I have two documents. I hope if you guys at the end of the day you can use that to apply to your tax return. The most important thing is a lot of strategies had to be done before year end. For instance, HSA, right? Broad conversion, all the things. So that's the one I want to have a sort of what do you call it? Explanation. All right, Yuan. One thing is I want to share is in July. Can I have a request for your share screen? I need a share screen.
Hold on. Just give me a second.
I want to
You
be
have not.
interactive. Yes, please. People, if you want to have questions, you can direct me anytime. If we may have an overrun, we probably have probably, I would say, 75 minutes. Yeah, is okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, let's get
那
started.
今天会是超时。
Yeah, we'll see. Probably will be. All right, this is the software professional. I'm starting running different situations. I have Joe Biden software tax return. I have the. So one thing I want to do is for Kevin, which is my son. Let's say, assuming he's married, he has a doctor's wife, well, wife's a doctor, whatever. So they are high income people, and I want to use this strategy to see how can we do tax planning. Again, personal view does not represent any commissioner, chair, or staff. If you want to buy a house, you buy life insurance, buy crypto, talk to the people with the license. I only give you tax advice. So this is the 12 strategies I'm going to present. I do have people. Ted, can you read I always pick up you. Ted, can you read my thing?
Sure. Um, 2025 tax strategies. Strategy one, maximize married joint filing 40,000K SALT. 2, optimize W-4 withholding. 3, health savings account family plan. 4, Tesla EV tax credit, 9/30/2025. 5, claim real estate professional status. 6, cost segregation and bonus depreciation, 100% in 2025. Sell rental with tax loss harvesting from Bitcoin, no wash sale rule. Solo 401k for small business income. Qualified business income deduction. Backdoor Roth IRA contributions, Roth conversions during market dips, and buy, borrow, build using life insurance lines of credit.
The last one is my favorite, BBB. We talk about it. So that's why we have a class, 6 weeks class. Thursday is our last meet, which is when OBBBB meet BBB. It's very funny. I'm going to do all the strategies. So this is 12 things I want to present. There are some other things, but again, this is so Kevin and Kevin and his wife, when they have returns, I'm going to present. This is a 2025 tax return. If you look at this, so the key thing is one spouse is a doctor, the other one is a real estate professional. Doctor high income, W-2, nothing to deduct. But the spouse, if you do real estate professional, you can do cost segregations, the bonus depreciations, you can do all the things in order to reduce their taxable income and bring to all the benefits to the table, right? For instance, the Helen is a doctor with $430,000 salary. People mute. Yuan, can you mute people? Yeah. So when all the strategies finish that, they are only paying about $47,000 taxes. Not bad. You talk about effective rate is 10, 11% at federal level. So we try to explain how a high income family can meet all the things. So there are, first of all, the key thing is for Kevin, he managed few rentals, he has real estate license, he has he managed some apartments, some houses. That's why young people need to buy a house as early as possible. My son, Kevin Craig, I will buy will publish another book, How to Own a House Below Age 20, 25. I want you guys to think of that. So when you have 5, 6 houses, talk to me because you highly likely you are going to qualify for the real estate professional, assuming no W-2, because IRS has a very strict rule. So when you have the side hustle, no W-2, you have 5, 6 rentals, you probably qualify REP. Why this is important, you tell IRS in the tax return, say, I'm real estate professional status. That's why all your losses, passive losses, can offset the the wife's income. So this is the first strategy is make sure you guys can have I think the dream family is what? One spouse is a lawyer or doctor, the other one is a real estate agent. That's the best family from tax perspective. Okay, I'm saying.
Okay.
A lot of people was able, for instance, in DC, there were 40 up to 60,000 federal employees were laid off, right, during the Trump's Doge. In the first half of the year, suddenly you are jobless. But if you have short rental, you have Airbnb. If you have managed a few things, you probably can claim real estate professional too, because this transition year, IRS understand. First half you're W-2, second half you're nothing. You can claim real estate because 750 hours you can prove using your hour tracking app to see I'm qualified. Because IRS people all understand that they all lose job, they all being pushed out, so they can a little bit empathy for you. So it's human nature, right? Just make sure you can apply that. All right. So this is a couple of things. One thing I want to talk about is W-2. I think Ted, you are very big on W-4 optimization. Can you explain what is W-2? Why W-4 is important?
W-4 is important because it determines how much your employer will take out of your paycheck to cover your taxes, but you don't want them to take out too much, or else you're essentially giving the government an interest-free loan. So you do not want your W-4 to reflect like no deductions, so or else so that you just get a big refund after you pay your tax, you submit your taxes, because the refund, you don't want them to take the money in the first place.
Exactly. So I don't know. I cannot remember how many times I mentioned is when do you file W-4? Oh, the first time, the first week I joined the company. Yes. Have you opted? No. People have used the same W-4 withholding form for 20, 40 years without change. You have kids, you have divorce, you have, for instance, every year you should relook at your W-4. One big indicator is if you receive a big refund from last year, it's time to change, to recalibrate W-4. Because as Ted said, you do not need to provide an interest-free loan to the government for 16 months and you get the money later. This is nonsense. You don't do that. So the best way is to keep your tax dues or payment within $2,000 range. That's your optimal range. How to do that? You use W-4 to optimize. Which field? For instance, they have a child, right? $2,000 because this is the child deduction. 4B, okay? Because Helen understands her husband is also professional. They have a lot of tax deductions, so she put 85,000. That's probably the number one strategy you can think of is optimize your W-4. For instance, for this, if you look at, I assume Helen's doctor working with Inova, Fairfax, her income 440. We doing my tax advice, I would say, Helen, only put in 20% withholdings. That's why she did 88, 20%. But suddenly the SALT came in, Ted, all the people, when you have a SALT, you can have up to 40,000 deductions on the state, on the local tax. Let me ask another person who is around. Let me see. Aaron, you are my friend. Aaron, can you explain if I run the tax return for this couple at the end of the year, they are getting refunded 43. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a pity. They have a free loan. Yeah, the government borrow
Yes,
money from them for free.
exactly. It's not efficient. I wanted 3,000. So for this family, they know they have big refund before year end, before they come to me to a re-stimulation. They can do a Roth conversions, at least to put in another $100,000 Roth conversions. You don't want to get a taxes because you want to keep the tax due or tax owed in the small range, small band. So that is probably a lot of people are happy. I get a refund. No, because you leave money on the table. I don't do that. The other strategy here is a dependent care credit. That many people just finish the annual enrollment period for employee W-2. Make sure you put a 5,000. When you have kids, Montessori school, summer camp, right? The put in 5,000 daycare. That's kind of free money because government give you dollar for dollar deduction from Social Security from the W-2. The other one is I highly recommend people do traditional 401k. People say, why do traditional 401k? I said, don't worry. So for me, I think for this family, they should do traditional 401k, but they only do $13,000. People, do you know why because by law you can do 23,000. Aaron, why this couple only do 13,000? Why is that?
Okay.
So
Yes.
go ahead. Yeah. So the key thing is if you read the Mark Kohler's strategy for WP people, 401k contribution should use the max and out strategy. Everybody, if your people understand what the max out is, when your employer match your 401k, they will match based on certain percentage of your W-2. For instance, Inova give you 3% match. Your salary is 400,000, roughly 13,000, 3%, right? So you only contribute up to the last dollar of matching. You get a free matching 1-to-1, then you're out. Why? Because 401k is a trap. I would rather you use this money to set up a solo 401k in the future. We have money, a small business, or use the money by rental and other stuffs, because you don't want to trap so much money into your traditional 401k. And number one, you are going to only have a very limited options. For instance, you can only buy index funds. You cannot buy single name stocks. Number two is the you're trapped by 59.5. Otherwise, you have to take a 10% early withdrawal hit. So my advice is, Helen, you only put in 13,000 because your company match 13. That's why you get dollar for dollar match. You're out. The rest you can wait. And when you have a small business, you can do solo 401k set up at the E-Trade. Why E-Trade? First of all, you can buy single name stock without the index fund. And also what? You can take a loan, because only E-Trade in the solo K program can have a 401k loan. You can draw a loan up to $50,000 out. You can buy rentals. You can do all the things. That's why people do not idolize 401k. I found so many people say, I have a 401k, $3 million. That's not right, because all the assets should be diversified. You cannot idolize one asset. You should buy rental, buy life insurance, buy crypto, so many other things you should do. Okay. All right, so that's a second strategy. Now I'll go back to this family, and for Kevin, he has rentals. So he has 3 rentals, and one bigger rental is marked because apartment. He has a multi-unit apartment. He claims himself real estate professionals. Why real estate professional is important? I think of other people in my class. Let me see who else. Why we have so many C class? David, anybody know real estate professional? Fred, can you explain what the benefits for real estate professional?
A real estate professional can offset any type of income off of their passive losses from real estate.
So that's why when they have a complex when they purchase in 2025 a multi-unit apartment, you do the cost segregations. Cost segregation is in the depreciation called the form 4562. If you look at that, if you have a professional software or you do the TurboTax, make sure when you do the cost segregation, hire professional. You cannot do online, not ChatGPT, right? And Fred can give you all the advices. He's been doing that for years. For instance, if you have a cost seg for this multiplex apartment, you have 4 lines: 5-year property, 7-year property, 15-year, and 27-year. And for the first 3, you can do dollar for dollar deduction because you acquired after January 15 or 17 of 2025. If you claim bonus depreciation, that's why for this house, I don't know if you do the math. So Kevin can create manufactured losses 51 from 5-year, 7,000 for the 7-year, and the 30,000. So total roughly $90,000 loss deductions he create. Let's look at Kevin's tax return. I call it Schedule E. People said, why I need to do cost segregations, people? Because Kevin has a very high income house, the spouse. So that's the 91,000 losses created from depreciation. From that, the first 2 houses, straight line, 27.5 years straight line. Last one, cost seg, bonus depreciation. So Kevin is able to produce $140,000 losses. That loss, because he is REP, real estate professional, that loss can be a good loss, offset his wife's income. Do you see 140 become a real estate losses? Go to the Schedule 1. The Schedule 1 flow to the 1040. That's why they are able to bring down the income from 400 something to 300 something. I pause here. Any questions?
So after the house used up all the depreciations, what should we do with the house? Should we
Yeah, that's a good question.
1031?
你把子弹打光了. Yes, when you do all things next year, this thing is just you squeeze all the juice out of it, right? Nothing else. You only have 27-year portion piece by piece, because you have multiple units. Next year, you can cost seg another unit, another property.
嗯
Yeah, that's why when you have 5, 6 properties on risk professionals, you do one a year. You can stretch up to 5, 6 years. After that, Trump all gone. Who knows? The tax law change. You come back to me with strategize another thing. All right.
Oh, I have a question. So the house has depreciation 90,000 plus 90,000 plus. That's the new purchase rental.
Got to be a new purchase, yeah, because old one will be 40%. Yeah, absolutely. The old property you probably get not too much because it's the sunset. You might do a cost is 1031 exchange, get a new one and deduct more. Who knows? Right? You can do it. All right, let's
Michael, I
go.
have a question too. The situation like that, that means every year you're gonna have a big loss on your Schedule E. Is that going to be a indicator?
Yes, higher other risk. Yes, that's why you need professionals because real estate professional is such a powerful tool. You loss for dollar, loss dollar for dollar offset your W-2. IRS look at you all the time because they don't like, for instance, Kevin. Let's say they have only one child. They kind of understand. Okay, you might. What if Kevin had 3 kids? IRS start challenging you. You have 3 little kids, go to different dancing school, piano class. How do you have time manage all of the rentals? They start challenging you. So really, situation by situation, right? The other one is the best is for early retirement. Let's say you are dodged, you have some money, you are only 60 years old, you can claim as a professional. But if you're 80, I doubt because IRS said you barely can move. How can you manage all the rentals? How do you clean the junk, cut the grass? So they start to ask you that question.
So you're saying as long as if you declare you're professional and you qualify for professional, it's kind of loss is okay. It's kind of
Absolutely, yes. But
okay.
that's why real estate professional is highly, I call the debatable or contentious area for audit. You definitely need a professional take a look. And especially most important is you need a claim letter. For instance, Kevin, he has to attach his tax return REP election letter. I think people understand this. Why 750 hours is if you do not do that, you assume it per property. It is not possible. You have to tell IRS, I'm a real estate professional based on this rule. I'm qualified because I combine and group all the properties together to qualify. You have to tell IRS, all properties together, I'm 750. This letter is critical. If you lose that, you might lose the battle.
嗯
Okay. All right. Let's go back to another strategy. It is the I call the HSA. HSA is another big deal. People understand this. You must contribute HSA before 12/31. Okay. People see that when this family they have a high deductible plan due to the $85,000, that is powerful because the dollar for dollar deduction go to let's say go to, do you see that HSA $3,000 $8,000? That is HSA power. Now Carl, are you here today? All right, let me see, Fred. What do you think? What's the best time to fund your HSA?
Generally, it's the beginning of the year, so any gains throughout the year are tax free.
Yes, normally we advise you to dollar averaging, right? Every month you put in $700, but the exception is when the market correction happens. Do you see in April when the terror war starts, with market down but 13-15% down to 4,900? I would rather you boldly pay, accelerate everything in. You put all the money in at the lowest moment. By the time you fully funded, you stopped, no more funding because otherwise you pay tax. You pay the penalty, the excess tax. By the time now is about 7,000, I think recently is a 6,900 points. So you are getting tax-free compounding 43% within 7 months. So in most cases, dollar averaging is good, but in the extreme situation, Warren Buffett said, when the market is bleeding, you're greedy. That's the greedy time. You should be all in. Fully funded 529, because 529 you can fund anytime. Do Roth conversion, that's the best time, Roth conversion. And fully fund HSA, and include your children's UTMA, all the things in that low moment. Because after that, everything is all free, it's all yours. I cannot emphasize enough is when you see the news so negative, Wall Street Journal, money market people said the world is collapsing, the blood on the Wall Street. By the time, remember Warren Buffett said, you need to be very aggressive, you need to be greedy. That's how you greedy are. You fully funded all the things. Even Kevin did her 55,000 Roth conversion. Let's look at her Roth conversion. I think anybody can explain what Roth conversion is? Let me see the people. We have a lot of friends trying to find who is Roth conversion people. Let me see. I couldn't find it. Okay, you are my student. What's Roth conversion? Mean?
叫我吗？
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Roth conversion is you convert regular IRA to the Roth IRA, or regular 401k to Roth Roth 401k. So you pay the tax right now, then all the money you roll to Roth account, or no tax forever. So it's good than when you later you retire, reduce your IMD, and even you leave legacy to your kids, they don't need to worry about tax forever.
Exactly. So you're spot on. So for instance, Helen at the low moment, she did a 55,000 Roth conversion. This year, start from 2026, TSP people, if you're working the federal government, TSP has the best benefits. You can do in-program conversion. You don't have to rule the money out to the RA. You can do in-program. That's the best. But for most other IBM or Meta people, talk with the HR, say, do you allow for in-program conversion without jumping the money out of the 401k? For instance, Helen did 55,000 Roth conversion. It's fully taxable, right? When you do her tax return, you find out is she's going to look at tax return. Do you see the 55? That's a Roth conversion. Now I have a reverse question to people. If you're good at math, Fred or whoever volunteer, you are getting $43,000 refund. If you don't want the refund, you will do more Roth conversion. So how much more you can do before year end? Let me see. Who has the any volunteer? Who has the yeah, go ahead. Sheila, what do you think? You are getting a lot of refund. You don't want that. You want to do Roth conversion before the market. For instance, before year end, the market's down, whatever it is. How much you can do? Math.
So, you got, let me see. How many you can do? I don't know. Let's see it.
Any volunteers? Give me a number, because this is
yeah. Is that based on what's your
tax
tax
bracket.
rate?
Tax bracket, exactly. So what's my tax bracket this year? So my tax bracket is, try to see my schedule, summary table. That's 24%. Maybe I couldn't find my tax bracket. So roughly 24% tax bracket. If you look at AGI, because their AGI is how much? about 330, right? 330. If you go to the AGI table, is about 24%. So when you can get a refund of 43, so 43 divided by 24 is roughly 120. So you can do another $120,000 Roth conversion. Let's try that. So I'm going to tell Helen, do another. So she's going to do, instead of do 55, she's going to do another 120. So it will be 107, right? 170 this, 175,000. All right, we do round number again. Hey, she did a low income. Has before year end, she did a 175 road conversion, and her tax due. Wow, she still get a refund about 11,000. That's quite powerful. That's very powerful. You see that? I don't advise you to Roth conversion this moment because market is so high. I would rather do it at low moment. I think I told some people, Carl or Fred, can you share your personal story? Why or how I push you to do this?
Yeah, on Liberation Day, back in April, with the announcement of the tariffs, and the market was down about 5% on a Thursday, and then Friday was down about another 5%, and our Roth conversions became active on that Friday at the market low. So when the market was down over 10%, I think we gained over 40% now.
Totally tax free. And because Fred had a lot of properties, he can turn one or more into cost segregation, and you can recoup all the cost. You don't need to pay much tax. All the things are totally legal and strategic. That's why tax planning is much more efficient than tax filing. You have to do it before year end, right? Everybody understands Roth conversion 1231, HIZ. So if you wait, you're missing that window. Okay. All right. So move on to another strategy, which is
I have a quick question. So, would this need to keep in 24%?
I would say 24 is a sweet spot because when you push into 500,000, you're talk about the 8% or more. I personally don't like it. So if you do Roth conversion, you convert the last dollar. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Kevin because he is real estate agent. He buy sell houses for other people. He get commissions, and he also has a gym and a home operating LLC. So he moved the junks. Remember the move got junk, got the milk, and also he started his LLC this year, 2025. So suddenly a whole set of strategies come out. Kevin make $55,000 because he's setting up his LLC this year, so he enjoy the startup cost safe harbor and the organizational cost safe harbor. So there are two safe harbors you can do up to $5,000 each. So you tell IRS, I'm claiming this, tell the code. People, professional tell you need to tell the code. IRS, okay, I understand, and you know what you're doing because they are not going to audit you. Otherwise, you have a random number, $5,000. This IRS get confused. Why you do this? So you say, oh, I'm starting up. I have a consulting fee, I have a training, mentoring, and I buy computer, I buy all this equipment, so all the cost. So by this two, he's already get $9,000 right out the gate. Then he has he hired his in-law because they're married to help him to open house, right? Every Sunday open house, balloons, wine and cheese, meet the clients. The in-law is semi-retired. She enjoyed dealing with the people. She get paid. Why not? Why? Because Helen and Kevin in high tax bracket. If they expense this to the in-law, which is a low tax bracket, and you have a tax bracket arbitrage. Yes, the in-law need to file tax 1099 this, and she'll claim her miles, her meals, her home office. Not much of the SE tax either. So that's another strategy. The other one is I call the home office. Yes, everyone understands this. The other one is what is called safe harbor. The 1.263 is a $2,500 safe harbor. De minimis, meaning what? When you buy equipment, a computer or something below $2,500 per unit, you can deduct it on the same year without doing 5-year depreciation. Applies to furniture, to computer, 3D printer, high-end camera like this because he's an agent. So this is a very good strategy. Tell IRS I'm claiming this below 2,500 per unit per invoice, and you do that expensing rather than depreciation. And Augusta rule, you can rent the home. You can do the home. You can have home party. Talk about the Zillow. Talk about how to use AI to house research. Training people. You can deduct this as Augusta rule. Rent your home out. I think I don't know who. Anybody know the Augusta rule, the 288? I think Sheila, can you explain what is Augusta rule? Maybe you know this.
Yeah, basically you can lease your primary residence, I believe, for like 8 times each
14
year.
days. 14 days.
14
Yeah.
days. 14 days. Yeah, 14 days. And you can compare what is ever like the hotel, if you lease like a hotel room, whatever, to set up party for your shareholders or for your clients at home. And then you can like you lease your primary home for your business. So that's a legal, very legitimate operation expense you can deduct when you file your tax return and Schedule C.
Yep. Thank you. All right. So do that, but you need to have a market rate, sign a contract, have a lease between your business and yourself, and have your child set up invite, create a flyer, printing the advertisement, even put on website. You show you're legit, right? At least you can deduct that. Even pay your child to do this. Then the other one is I call the solo 401k. The solo K is important, okay, because you can do what? You can use the income. Hey, I'm in the training. Can I call you back? Okay, bye. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT this question. People use ChatGPT all the time. I'm sure I'm a big fan of AI. So I made money from Schedule C. Calculate my solo K contribution plus 20% company match. Not 25% because you're Schedule C, okay? If you're S Corp, 25%. You ask GPT to do that, to calculate. Very good. So save a lot of time. You don't need to consult. You don't need to ask professionals. This thing can be, well, what's this new thing? They have a new, so they calculate for you based on that. They take out the FICA. Based on this number, you can contribute $10,000, including yourself and 20% employee. Company contribution is 10,000 times 20% because 20% rule. So at the end of the day, this is your split, employee and employer. So $10,000. Then Kevin used that. Before Kevin goes that far, I need to tell him. So if I'm a real estate agent, top line revenue $50,000, net income is 11. So you are top of the 20% profit margin. That's a very good, very, very healthy number. Because on average, small business profit margin is roughly 15 to 20%. So he's spot on. So your chance being audited is almost nothing, almost zero. But he doesn't even pay tax on this income because he's doing his solo K. Where his solo K? He set up his solo K in Schedule 1. Do you see that? Self-employed SAP qualified plan. Solo 401k, $10,000. This $10,000 become a deduction, adjustment. So Kevin has 3 deductions from his small business. One is he pays self-employed tax, which is 15%, 15.3% of the $11,000 profit. but half of them will become deductible, right? Solo K deductible, and the HSA $8,000. So total deductions from his tax return is 19,000. Where is 19 goes? If you go to 1040, first page, $19,000. That's the adjustment. So they are able to bring down the income from 360 to 340, right? Because of this 19,000 deduction, HSA deduction, FICA, the employee portion, and then the solo K contribution, traditional solo K. Same thing. Why I do traditional solo K? You can do Roth conversion later on when the market is down. So that's why he's able to bring from $400,000 up to 340. And now we talk about Tesla. He has a Tesla. Okay. Since his Tesla, let me see what's my, sorry about that. Go back to the thing. Schedule 3. Okay, let's go to Schedule 3. Everybody understand when you buy Tesla this year before September 30, you are able to get full deductions. And for Schedule C, is a credit come from energy electronic vehicle credit, 8936. Go there. Clean vehicle credit. Okay. So luckily, Kevin and Chris, they contribute to traditional 401k last year, so they're able to bring down the income below 300,000 because 300 is the threshold. That's why sometimes Roth contribution is good, but sometimes traditional is good because you want to bring down your income below the threshold to get certain credits. This is one of the reasons. Because that they are getting full credit of the $75 energy credit, the EV credit, which is good. So that is a powerful, I call it the dollar for dollar deduction. So they are able to bring down the tax dues from the $56,000. They have a QBI. Remember, Kevin has a real estate licensing business. So 20% QBI deductions. Child has 2,200 child credit, and energy Tesla credit 75. So they are bringing down the total tax is $47,000. Very efficient. Questions?
So I see that there is a outside labor child. Is that the salary you pay to the child?
Read the Mark Kohler's How to Pay a Child, the publication in his post. The thing is, when your child is under 18, he doesn't need 1099, no W-2. In order to tell IRS my child's under 18, what you do is you to the child outside labor, okay, which is let me see my Schedule E, outside labor. Yes. For instance, I have child help me stage in the house, take out the trash, pick up the mail, scan the receipt, right? When the visitor come in, open the house, do the little bit marketing for me, search the Zillow kind of. So this kind of job, they can help you. So that's why I paid the child. I will say depends on the age. This girl is a 12-year-old, probably do $12 an hour. So probably the whole year you can in the summer do more, in the winter, in the snow, whatever. So they can do about $2,000-3,000 child labors. And we do what? You do minor Roth IRA, right? When do you fund a minor IRA? At the low point. So this is another good part is child outside labor is good for rental.
So no need 1099 or W-2?
Yeah, below 18, you don't need that. IRS have a very clear rule called the family. Go to the called IRS family help rule. You go to my book. My book have very clear documentation. So called the IRS family help rule. Okay, just read that rule. Yeah.
The child earning, does it have to get combined with the parents' income?
Nope. Child has their own thing. That's why you don't need to report child's income. Because child has, they are your dependent, so their income doesn't cost you. They only need to file taxes when their income is higher than $14,000-15,000 standard deduction. Otherwise, This is a black hole. This is loophole. That's why payments for service under 18 are not subject to Social Security. Do you see that? Meaning what? You don't need to pay FICA, no Social Security tax, no Medicare. Beautiful. But after 18, you need to do it. We have S Corp, you have to do that. 1099. Sorry, you have to do that. Okay, read my book. Very clear. Go back to my another strategy is the car, right? Because let me. Who has Tesla? Anybody has Tesla? Cool. Any Tesla people? Give me a shout.
Yeah, I do.
All right. When you have Tesla, do you think it's a good idea to use actual expensing or you use the standard mileage? Which one's better?
Don't know. Maybe mileage?
Mileage is better because Tesla is more efficient. You can plug in somewhere, you can get it. So I would rather use mileage. That's why I highly recommend people when you have a Tesla, mileage better. For instance, for Kevin, he's a real estate agent. He has showing the houses. He's doing miles, forced, you see, forced mileage. I would rather do it because give you more every year. Give you Kevin drive around the houses, go to Home Depot, right? Go to post office, visit the go to the meetup group to the training. So all the miles are deduction. So that's Tesla is definitely mileage is much better. So when you do tax returns, if you see his Schedule E, I gave him, so he's able to deduct car, right? Do you see mileage? It's all 70 cents a mile, the 50 miles, that's his mileage. That's how here. Now I have a very challenging question, probably for Ted or Carl or Johnny, my class. What is other interest? What does it mean? $1,100. What's that?
Is that interest that you maybe used for your business or your rental houses that you paid for to start up to buy your rental houses or
Yes, this is a very famous rule, but very confusing rule in our tax code called the IRS interest tracing rule from CFR called the Code of Financial Federal Register 1.363. I don't know. I'm just okay. Yeah, I'm right. 1.3. Well, not bad. So the rule said interest is allocated based on the use of loan. So people, what I do is I borrow loan from a life insurance policy, cash loan, or I borrow loan for my securities line credit. What I do, I put into rental. I pay the closing costs, I repair, I do all this, reconstruction. All this uses are business purpose. So that's why the interest from the policy loan, from security line credit, from life insurance credit are deduction. That's the beauty. Meaning when you, for instance, their tax rate is 24%. If they borrow a loan from a life insurance policy, the cost of borrowing is about 5%. Depends on nationwide or New York Life, around 5%. Because your interest is deduction here, so your cost of borrowing is not 5% anymore. It's roughly what? 4%. That's the beauty because you are creating a deductions come from policy loan. Also, the policy loan usually repay back this loan interest or principal, every year gradually, create a loan promissory notes. You are able to create a legitimate money flows. You self-funded, that's called IBC, even the banking. You borrow money from policy, you buy rental, deduct it, and pay back. You recycle yourself. Questions? Hey, I there are good some good elections I wanted to use. For instance, when you have a professional software or something, there are a few elections to tell the people $5,000 startup cost. We talk about that. The minimum safe harbor, $2,500. So people use that safe harbor all the time. If you look at my my example is, for instance, when Kevin purchased a unit air conditioning for one unit, 2,500 safe harbor tell the IRS is, I purchased AC at $2,400 because I'm electing the safe harbor. I can expense that dollar for dollar. I don't have to stretch 5-year property depreciation. Okay, that's another strategy you can talk about. Okay, good. I think a meal 50%. I think we cover all the things. Repair, safe harbor. Okay. Yeah, I mean, any questions coming in? I think I'm okay. Sorry, one more thing is backdoor Roth. Forgot that. Backdoor Roth. For backdoor Roth is 8806. People understand backdoor Roth, right? When you have high income, you cannot do front door Roth. You cannot do this. You have to do, I think 8606. Okay. So here is the backdoor Roth. You bypass this. You put the money in, then you can do Roth conversion same day. This is non-taxable because it's non-deductible IRA. So there's no tax events. You just tell IRS I do a backdoor Roth. So Fred, can you ask me a question? Ask you a question. When do you do backdoor Roth in their situation? What day?
At the lowest days of the stock market, so your
Exactly.
basis is a lot lower.
People, same thing. You have to wait. I've been doing that for January 1st every year backdoor Roth. Sometimes I say, why do that? If I put in April, I'll probably get $10,000 just like. But who knows? The market is going to up and down. You probably don't know the timing, right? So the best way is you do the flat dollar average method, a few $100 here every month. You just wait until market collapse. Then you all in. People say, I don't have money at the time. What do you do? You borrow money from line of credit, from the life insurance. People say, why? I need to pay interest. I got it. One simple example is, if I borrow $8,000 from a life insurance, pay 5% interest, I put it into HSA, I get a 24% tax deduction from federal, which is in this situation, and a 5% tax deduction from state. So you are talking about 30% deductions on this $8,000 contribution. Yes, you pay interest on your loan, but when you fully funded your HSA, you get 30% deductions. You get a refund come back. You use the refund to pay back the loan, or you use the refund to buy more rentals. It's your choice. So the math is very simple. Borrow a loan to do business, borrow a loan to do tax preferable accounts is worth it. Loan sometimes not bad loan. This kind of loans are good loan.
我知道那个叫什么，咱们华裔好像是借钱，然后那个欠钱是一个
I understand. We have this stigma. We don't want to have a loan. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah. Remember, Jesus said, "Whoever go to Caesar, go to Caesar. Go to God, go to God." Loans. When you go to heaven, Jesus does say, "Do you have still loan? You cannot go." No such a thing. So loan, so what? Take a loan, keep going, compounding. As long as the loan not go to Vegas, you're fine.
嗯，
I
那
agree.
个很多这个 mentality 是需要那个调整的。anyway，那个教官有什么大家有什么问题哈，然后赶紧问教官。
Yeah.
这个
Any
是
questions? I want to. The other one is when you this person sold a house. That's another thing is I forgot to tell you is Kevin sold a house. He sold his rental. He sold it. So 47,897. Let me see. So they sold a house at let me see, where's that? This is another strategy, very important. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. All right. Kevin sold a house at capital gain. The capital gain is this for people who have anybody have rentals? I think a lot of people have rentals, right? It's a very advanced. Probably one most important strategy here is use crypto to offset your gain. I don't want anybody who have cryptos. Can you anybody give me a shout out? You have cryptos, bitcoins? Yang Yongsheng? Anybody? Rebecca? Michelle? Han Liu? Any have cryptos? Okay, good. So for people with crypto, what you do is you sold a house. Let's say you purchased a rental at 355. You sold at 440, so you have capital gain. $38,000 is the depreciation recapture. You have to pay 25% tax. We got it. But the capital gain is roughly 90,000. So 38 is a depreciation recapture. You still have 40,000 of gain. The gain, you have to pay taxes. Taxes is about 15% because of the long-term capital gain. The strategy is crypto. People, Fred, anybody know why crypto is play important role here?
If you lose something, like you get a loss when you trade cryptos, you buy high and you sell low, so you have some loss, and then you can offset whatever the capital gain you had from your rental property sold.
That's right. So
Yeah.
this year crypto is in a gyration. They
And
have a
also
peak
no
time.
wash sale. Crypto
Exactly.
no
No
wash
watch.
sale.
That's the best thing is, let's say when you purchased crypto at a high point, 100 something, now it's only 90 or 80. What do? You sell the crypto, materialize the losses up to whatever number is totaled, and you purchase back the second day. It's different from stocks. When you have crypto ETF, when you have crypto, when you have the stocks, you cannot do that because it's a wash sale rule. You have to wait for 30 days, otherwise your loss is disallowable. Crypto is safe harbor. This become a playground for rich people. They buy high or whatever. They buy high. If it get higher, they don't sell it. They borrow a loan out of it. They buy rental because it's BBB, right? Or C block, crypto backline credit. You can borrow a loan out of it. You can buy rentals. You can do all things, deduction, interest. If the crypto going down, they sell them. They actualize the losses, and they purchase the same coin back the same day or second day without any problem. So they just manufacture losses out of nowhere. And this loss is good loss. For instance, Kevin purchased crypto at 230,000 shares, coins. He sold it 100,000. By doing that, he producing roughly 100,000 losses. This loss offset his property gain for the houses. With these strategies, his long-term capital gain tax, long-term capital gain base is only $5,000 rather than $120,000. So that's the beauty. You see that? So this is very good. Matt Sorensen has YouTube on this. I felt, wow, this is so genius. Read YouTube. Mark Kohler, Matt Sorensen, they have a lot of YouTube posts. People this is good. Sometimes this another AI tool is I can tell people is there's sometimes the YouTube so long, a lot of marketing gimmicks. What I do is I just copy the YouTube link, put into Perplexity, give me a summary. I bypass all the 20 minutes read. I can get a one-page read. So that's why another thing AI can. I don't even know in the future, Yuan, people don't watch our things anymore. They just put on the YouTube, paste it, go to the AI, they summarize for the people.
The summary, yeah. Very possible. That's an effective way,
Oh, it happens all the time. I don't have time to listen, interject all the commercials. I just paste it, summarize that, and use that. So this strategy is perfect. Okay, use crypto, no wash sale, safe harbor, and you almost pay no capital gain tax. Beautiful.
Coach, quick question. Can this strategy be used towards gain from rental property?
Gain if you sell, yeah, when you have a capital gain, yes. But when you,
I'm not talking about capital gain. I'm talking about income. I'm sorry. Income from
yeah,
rental
I don't
property.
think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, because you're not, you shouldn't have gain on the rental. Rental should have losses because of depreciation, right? You have expenses. You have utility, HOA, insurance, taxes, mortgage. I don't think you should have gain at all. Have a gain is very rare, very rare. Come to me after this class. We need to consult. Look at your tax return. Probably you pay tax.
Mike, a question on the crypto. Does it apply to the crypto ETF or just the crypto itself?
They're securities. They're subject to the what's the options. That's why crypto ETF is bad in this moment.
Okay.
Have to coin sell because coins are not securities. That's why this is a little bit narrow scape. Okay, so we finished the class. I'm gonna give you a few 小红包哈. One of them is this documents my narratives and tax returns. I in the January I have a Virginia, Maryland, and the Delaware state return state level I can produce for you. So you get a package. I'm going to sell $100, $50 go to CAPA, including my book. Remember, I published book, so you get this documents and my book, and that's just one strategy. But if you live in California or New Jersey, I'm not licensed. I can use tax software to run that, but not guarantee accuracy because I don't know the tax rule of that state. But Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, I'm comfortable. Okay, so that's this package. You want to buy this? You show this thing to your accountants. Say, this is professional level. Can you replicate it for me? Okay, you can do that. But again, you have to have a receipt. You have to have reasonable rate for compensating your children. And the next in July, we are going to open how to use AI to do tax planning 6 weeks class.
January, not July.
Sorry, January. Yeah. So I recently passed the AI certification. I'm reading a book from David Wood. He's a professor in accountancy. He said, resistance to change or to learn is the equivalent to self-defeating. I think in the AI stage, everybody should be AI expert in your field. I don't know what the field is. You have a dentist, you have whatever it is, a lawyer, architect. Learn AI tools. It's really revolutionized everything. I just show you a few things. So get a license for AI. That's why I'm using this in early next year. We open the 6 weeks class and register, and we're going to teach how to use tools, how to discern the misinformation, the giggle, right? Garbage in, garbage out, hallucinations. Because the old computer crunching numbers time is over. That you should save the time to be more innovative, creative, and comprehensive. So the tax professionals to be AI equipped. I'm using professional AI software all the time. I use two. One is called the Tax GPT. The other one called Ask Blue Jay. Why I have two? Because I want to challenge themselves, challenge each other, make sure they give me the best answer. But they're professionals. You cannot have that. Be licensed. But for you will use Perplexly, you use Abacus, you have Gemini 3, you have ChatGPT 5.2, should be but do that, okay? And Saturday, my son and I we publish a book, publishing in March. Hopefully, teaching young people how to buy a house as early as possible, right out of college. Both of my boys have houses. I think, yeah, you know that. Right? Can you share a few things why this is important? Yeah.
Well, again, for there was a study shows that in the past, for the Americans, to own their first property was age 30. And think about the difference if you have your property at age 18, how many years you're ahead of your peers, and the compound benefits and tax saving, everything. I think that is tremendous. So not only that, on the financial side, this is truly a way to build your children, youth to become responsible, to understand, what is truly life about. It's not just a diploma. It's not just about a paycheck. You have to manage it all, be responsible. So,
Absolutely. From entitlement to empowerment.
Yeah.
Okay. And Saturday, 用中文讲 I have a text 10 soft record keeping templates. I'm speaking Chinese, sorry, English version later. So this is the Saturday version for the 北美协会. Okay, Yuan, we're done. I think we have covered 12 strategies, real situations. People, before your year end, do the things, look at your numbers, come to me, do our consultation. We can run the numbers together. I can give you some advice. You have 2 weeks to do it. Mind the Roth IRA, Roth conversion, HSA, Solo K is all good stuff.
Yeah, amazing. All right. As always, 那个教官，谢谢你怎么讲呢？就是这么全面，而且的话，这真的就是很少有人能够把这种税务方面的课能讲的这么投入啊，而且这么吸引人啊，谢谢你。然后尤其是所有的课啊那个 everybody please understand， 那个 we are all doing this as volunteers, nobody get a penny pay。然后教官所有的这个那个讲座呀，然后准备材料啊。Everything is sort of on his own, and he just simply has a big heart and wants everybody to empowered from the knowledge that we are sharing on this platform. 所以的话，就是大家请支持麦克教官，然后那个能够给他就是捧场站脚助威的一定来。
We have vision board exercise for young people. January 3rd in Vienna, vision board. Young people come to my class. We have vision board exercise all the time every year. Every year I wrote my vision board. This is my vision board. You see that? Yeah, I'm going to do that because people understand. Amazing. Yeah, come to my class.
Yeah, 所以那个大家关注我们哈，然后没有在 CAPA 平台上的那个微信群里的话，请大家进我们 CAPA 微信群所有的活动信息都是在这个微信群里头通知。然后 just like Coach Mike has said， 1月3号将是我们第一台那个节目，然后还是由 Coach Mike 领军，我们会做一个 vision board， 然后这个 vision board exercise 的话，实际上是一个那个从 visual 到 mental 到 emotional， 然后这个 strategize how are you going to manifest and achieve your goal。所以的话，这是会是一个非常 amazing 有趣的一个 exercise 希望大家那个来参与我们哈。请问怎么进微信群你是怎么拿到我们这个活动通知的？然后可以加我或者是加 Coach Mike， 然后我们加你进微信群，好吧 ？All right， 那我们今天就到这里，谢谢大家，晚安。
All right, thank you, people.
我们可以问个问题吗？问老师问题，可以问一个吗
？I think come back to me in the class. I went down. It's been a long day. Yeah, we can talk offline. We have every month we have something or email me. Okay. All right, people. Good night. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. 也祝大家节日愉快，谢谢，晚安。
Bye.
Bye.